Another day and more bad news for Joe Biden. Of course, he has been struggling mightily recently, and even the media has been turning against him. But despite all of that, he still has some massive fundraisers from the big celebrities in California. But what I want to focus on today, of course, is the real bad news that Joe Biden is getting in the polling numbers. And it's so bad, of course, that even CNN can no longer hide it. So before we get into these videos, please like, share, and subscribe because, hey, it helps us break through the algorithms. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I keep looking for this to change, to go back to a historical norm, and it simply put has not yet. So this is the margin, or Biden and Trump among black voters, compare where we were at this point in 2020, compare where we are now. You know, at this point, look at this. In 2020, Joe Biden was getting 86% of the African-American vote. Look at where it is now. It's 70%. That's a 16-point drop, John. And more than that, it's not just that Joe Biden is losing ground, it's that Donald Trump is gaining ground. You go from 7%, single digits at this point in 2020, to now 21%. And again, John, I keep looking for signs that this is going to go back to normal, and I don't see it yet in the polling. If anything, right now we're careening towards a historic performance for a Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades.
And when you dig into this number here, what is the makeup of that number?
This is where we get very interesting. So I decided to dive deeper into the crosstabs, figure out where is it that Joe Biden is truly struggling among black voters. All right, so this is black voters, Biden versus Trump margin. Look at black voters age 50 and older, and you'll see, look, Joe Biden was leading amongst this group at this point by 83 points back in 2020. Now it's 74 points. So yeah, a slight decline in that margin, but nothing out of this world. Look at black voters under the age of 50. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. Look at this. Joe Biden was up by 80 points among this group back at this point in 2020. Look at where that margin has careened down towards. It's now just, get this, 37 points. That lead has dropped by more than half, Mr. Berman. I just never seen anything like this. I'm like speechless because you always look at history and you go, okay, this is a historic moment. If this polling is anywhere near correct, we are looking at a historic moment right now where black voters under the age of 50, which have historically been such a big part of the Democratic coalition, are leaving it in droves.
That is a huge drop over a 4-year period.
Holy crap, that is some excellent news. Of course, Donald Trump has been trending upwards among black voters. Of course, something that hasn't happened since the Nixon era. Now, here's what I personally think is happening. The under 50s, the people that are abandoning Joe Biden and the Democrats in droves, are basically the people who have never really seen a clear-cut form of government between conservatism and liberalism. All right? Which one talks a big game and talks all about, oh, fairness and opportunity and equality, but then they never really deliver on anything that is good for the American people, versus the conservatives, which say, hey, if you're going to work hard, we're going to go ahead and cut your taxes, get out of your way, and let you succeed. So people, of course, remember the Trump economy versus the Biden economy, and they are making that clear-cut choice. Of course, even among the black voters going for Biden, he's still dropped by 9 points, which is also a huge shift, no matter what. But of course, that's nothing like the 43% drop among the under 50s. Now, of course, this is not happening just among the black voters. It's also happening in general for Joe Biden across the board. Let's check this out from Jake Tapper.
Let's talk about the campaign, because Trump was in battleground Michigan last night making a pitch to African-American voters. Polls show Biden trailing Trump in key battleground states and polling well behind your Senate colleagues who are running for re-election. Look at this New York Times poll from last month. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin is up 9 points in Wisconsin. Biden's only up 2 points. Pennsylvania Senator Bob Casey up 5 in PA. Biden's down 3. Arizona Congressman Ruben Gallego, running for Senate in Arizona, up 4. Biden down 7. Nevada Senator Jackie Rosen up 2 in Nevada. Biden's down 12. How can you look at these statistics, these numbers, and not conclude that Joe Biden is a drag on the ticket?
Oh, that's not going to be the case.
But look at the numbers.
Well, that's one poll.
I mean, you're happy for your colleagues, I'm sure, but Biden is underpolling all of them.
Well, that's one poll. I can also show you 60 other polls that show that Joe Biden is in the lead. There are plenty of polls in swing states that show that Joe Biden has a small lead. This is going to be a close race. There's no doubt about it. But what we have consistently seen is that Democrats are outperforming polls because we're seeing a surge of turnout, especially young people who are freaked out that Republicans, led by Donald Trump, are going to take away their right to reproductive health care, are going to destroy our democracy. I think this is going to be a close race, but I have no doubt that Joe Biden is going to win, and he's going to lead Senate Democrats to hold the majority.
Yeah, Joe Biden is actually a huge drag on the ticket. And this is rather interesting because Joe Biden is having the exact opposite effect on the Democratic Party that Trump has on the Republican Party. On the Democrat Party, Joe Biden is underperforming the rest of his Democrat colleagues, right? All the senators and representatives that are up for election in these swing or battleground or blue states even, right? Versus Donald Trump. He actually performs consistently ahead of the Republicans, right? You have the complete swap. Joe Biden is such a weak candidate that he's draining out the enthusiasm, the energy from the Democrats, whereas Donald Trump is such a strong candidate, he's actually bringing it in to the Republican Party. Clear to see, of course. And also the senator mentions, oh, the young people are just, they're coming out in droves. Yeah, guess who's actually making the gains among the young voters? It's Donald Trump. And he mentions, of course, the reproductive rights. Yeah, that's like number 13 on the list of things that are most important. It is, of course, the economy and the border. That's what people care about the most. Reproductive rights, that's in the rear window. Nobody cares about that anymore. And of course, he also mentions, oh, I can point to 60 other polls that show that Joe Biden is ahead, including in the swing states. And I say, bull crap, where are those polls? I mean, check these out. Here we are at the 538, which of course just shows a bunch of polling aggregates all put together, but they also have the individual poll breakdowns. And right here you can see Joe Biden job approval, right? 41% approve, 58% disapprove. And in the general election, the most recent polling from June 12th, so a few days ago, from Reuters and Ipsos and Echelon, etc. And you'll notice over here that Donald Trump is leading in all of them. And these are general election polls, not even the battleground states. So they can put on their rose-colored glasses, bury their heads in the sand, but Donald Trump is the one making the gains. He's the one with all of the energy. And as I said before, people can clearly see the difference between the two economies, Trump versus Biden, conservative versus liberal. And guess which one they're actually preferring? Of course, what they're also seeing is Joe Biden acting like this. Yeah, that was the big gala fundraiser in Hollywood with Jimmy Kimmel on stage with, of course, Barack Obama and Joe Biden. And notice, Joe Biden's standing there like a stinking robot, basically. And Barack Obama has to actually take his hand to guide him toward the stage exit and then put his hand on his shoulder and neck saying, you know what? This is the way we're going, Joe. Shuffle over here, right? People see that Joe Biden is basically a potato at this point, and everyone can make their choice, which of course is what's happening as is reflected in the poll numbers. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.